What's up YouTube? It's me, Jess, and I'm an opera singer. Today's video is Patron Pick of the Month, and for this month, they have chosen Post Modern Jukebox featuring Morgan James singing Take Me to Church. Let's go.
My lover's got humor. He's the giggle at a funeral. Knows everybody's disapproval. I should have worshipped him sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, he's the last pure mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak, a new poison every week. We were born sick, I heard them say. My church offers no absolutes. He says worship in the bedroom. The only heaven I'll be sent to is when I'm alone with you. I was born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. Amen. 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 Take me to church. I will worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church. I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lights. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life.
Woo! Yes, Morgan James, yes, pianist. I don't know your name. I'm so sorry, but yes. I love this arrangement. If you haven't heard the original, I highly suggest pause this video, go watch the original, listen to the accompaniment and just the overall composition. That way you have an idea of how different this is. It's also another way to appreciate the compositional skills that people have. This is amazing, and my eyes lit up when the chorus came through because that composition just went totally somewhere I was not even thinking of. Morgan James is a fantastic singer, and I've actually done a video on her before, which I will put up here or here. The technique is very high caliber. She is excellent at speech delivery, and what was really great about what we've heard so far is the transition of registers, and I'll get into that in a second. She's also great at the emotional delivery of whatever it is she's talking about, and the two of them collabing together seem like a match made in heaven. Everything is just flowing very smoothly. So let's talk about the emotional delivery of the text. That is something I'm very passionate about because I think it is the best way to connect to your audience. It's a privilege to be able to sing in front of people. People are busy, life is short, they can be doing so many other things with their time. And I think people who don't really value how important it is that someone is taking time out of their day to come and watch you perform, I think that's a big miss in terms of what it means to be an artist. And in order to be able to connect to your audience and do justice to the art form, the least you can do is understand the text and understand how that is going to emotionally drive you in order to connect to the text so you can connect to your audience. The overall message of this song really is aimed at the church values, and it is challenging what these church values are. The main line that I really think is a good line to look at in this song and really understand what the underlying message is we were born sick. That line comes up twice. The first one is in quotations, which says, "We were born sick," unquote. You heard them say it. Then the next time it is said, it says, I was born sick, but I love it. And my understanding is this is the Catholic or Christian belief that we are born sinners and that there is nothing that anyone can do about that. That's just the status of how you are when you come into this world. And when you extract that ideology and take in how it's written within the text of this song, you can see how much it's challenging that. So you can tell that this song is challenging this ideology of being born sick or being born sinners, because in the second line it reads, but I love it. It's that I have a certain way about my being and I'm going to challenge others who do not agree with it. And that happens in all topics of discussion within life. When you have something that deep of a message, it's really important for you, I believe, to be able to deliver that message very, very clearly. I believe it takes a different level of acting or a different level of thinking to be able to say, I don't even agree with this literally at all, but I'm going to be able to dive somewhere within my imagination to deliver this text. That takes a completely different level of artistry. Whether this is something she believes in or not, I have no idea. But what's important is that there's an emotional connection to the text. And you can see that in different ways, and this is how I'll show you. One clue that gives off a green flag that someone is emotionally connected to a song is through their facials. It's very easy as us singers to get wrapped up in our head, and we kind of can stick to one facial or go to robotic movements that we're kind of comfortable and used to when practicing or even performing, and not really understand how that translates to an audience member. So looking at facials for me and body movements is a big clue on how someone is connecting emotionally to a song. Another one is where they are choosing to emphasize certain words or syllables within a phrase. Why is this person choosing to emphasize this word, or why are no words being emphasized and everything sounds pretty monotone? Another clue to see if someone is emotionally connected to the song is through dynamics. I look at singing as dialogue. So I try and take everything that I'm singing and see how I would say that in a conversation or say that in my head if it's a thought process, and how that would naturally come to my thought process or out of my mouth. I would try and then incorporate that into the line of singing. When you take it that route, you will see that you typically don't say things in a monotone way. I understand there are some people that do have a pretty monotone way of speaking, and it does come off as less emotional, not connected to the actual words you're saying. That's not typical. Usually there are inflections within a sentence that you're saying. If you're repeating something more than one time, you might get a bit more frustrated, or you're getting more happy. Those types of inflections and things that you would do in natural conversation or your natural thought process, I think should be brought into your singing. And you definitely get that here. You get a huge range of dynamics. You get a big range of different emphasis on certain words or syllables within phrases. She's not doing too much with her arms. Nothing looks robotic. Those are all clues that you should look at as a performer, as a singer, even as an audience member, to understand how singers and performers do what they do in order to elevate your experience. So I looked at all of that every second that I was watching, and I was completely amazed. The last thing I want to point out in terms of how she is emotionally connecting to the song is she actually changed the lyrics from the original. So I'm looking at the lyrics now. The original reads, "My lover's got humor. She's the giggle at a funeral." Now she changes these pronouns in order to match her and her situation. So she sings, "My lover's got humor." That stays the same. Next line, "He's the giggle at a funeral. Makes it a bit more personal. It lets you know who she is connected to within this song, because this song, from my understanding, is referencing someone that the singer is romantically connected to. And this says, okay, he's the giggle at a funeral. She is romantically connecting to a male figure rather than a female figure. Let's go ahead and analyze a few lines to really understand artistic development through technique. The lines read, "If the heavens ever did speak, he's the last true mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak, a fresh poison each week. We were born sick. You heard them say it." All right, these are the lines we're going to analyze, and I want to spend time on these lines specifically because they truly do showcase a variety of technique in order to highlight the artistic development and the emotional connection within the song. The first line reads, "If the heavens ever did speak." If you noticed when she sang this specific line, the line was not legato, meaning the line was not sung in an extremely connected way, where each note melted into the next and the one before it, where it's all like, kind of think of it like slime. Everything is just connected and together. Instead of doing it legato, which is not a bad thing, let me say, if you don't do something legato, that's not a bad thing, it's great. What she did instead was she broke it up, and you heard a bit of a separation on the word ever. So heavens going to ever, you heard her take advantage of ever starting with a vowel and using that to separate it from the word heavens.
I should have worshipped him sooner if the heavens ever did speak.
And then you also heard her really emphasize the K in the word speak. She didn't give it to you right away. She just kind of let it come in when she felt like it to come in, but she made it well known that that was a very big letter within this word that needs to be heard. And I agree with that choice.
I should have worshipped him sooner if the heavens ever did speak.
So this next line reads, "He's the last true mouthpiece." Remember, she's changing the lyrics from she's to he's. And this line, you heard a much more legato line. Not only that, you heard a dynamic change. The line before, "If the heavens ever did speak," you heard a bit more of a softer, let's even say angelic tone to the voice. This one, she brings in a bit more of that speaking factor, aka a bit more of that chest voice, along with that legato line.
If the heavens ever did speak, he's the last pure mouthpiece.
We're getting a range of dynamics and the way that she is choosing to deliver the text, either a bit disconnected or legato. The next line reads, "Every Sunday's getting more bleak." I love the way she said this line, sang this line. She sang every with that same type of technique from the line before, with a bit more chest voice. And then when she gets to the word Sundays, which goes up in the melody, you hear her back off dynamically quite a bit.
Every Sunday's getting more bleak.
And I think that's really important in this sentence or this line because it shows how emotional that one word is. Every Sunday, you know, on Sunday, something seems to be guaranteed. That guarantee is it's looking a bit more bleak. So Sunday is going to play a bit more of a role within your mental thought process in terms of the days of the week in comparison to all of the other days. So I like the way that she highlighted that word. And then again, she gave us that final K on the word bleak, which is really nice. Then the next line reads, "A fresh poison each week." What a line. This line was interesting because I believe she differentiated it from the original in two ways. The rhythm was different and the melody was different. I believe she spent a bit more time on the word poison in comparison to the original, which was nice. She also changed up the melody a bit. What I thought was interesting melodically with this specific phrase was most of the notes within this phrase were the same. So the line goes, a new poison every week. Most of the notes, a new poison every week. There's 7 notes. Of those 7 notes, so of those 7 notes, 4 of them sat on the same note. I thought that was interesting, considering what the idea of what poison is. It's deadly. It brings a lot of negative emotions. It seems like this permanent thing that is very hard to get rid of. This idea of keeping a lot of the notes the same, this kind of effect that poison has where it's just there and it seems like it won't go away. I thought that was really interesting. Again, I've said this in few videos, I'm an Aquarius, I'm really weird, but I really liked that take. Then the final line we'll talk about is, we were born sick, you heard them say it. And remembering that we were born sick is in quotations, because essentially that is what the church is delivering as one of their main messages. I liked the way she delivered this text because it seemed a bit heartbreaking for her. The reason why it seemed a bit heartbreaking, the way that she delivered it, is because you didn't even hear the final word of the line, which is it. You can tell that's what's implied, especially if you know the song, but she just let that line fade out. Like it was just even too hard to finish.
My lover's got humor. He's the giggle at a funeral. Knows everybody's disapproval. I should have worshipped him sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, he's the last pure mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak. A new poison every week. We were born sick, I heard them say.
I thought that was a nice touch. Something you can't always get away with, but it worked really well in this line. Now let's continue this discussion with artistic development and see how that is incorporated through technique in the chorus. So the chorus reads, take me to church. I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. And that repeats twice. That is an important part to remember, that it repeats twice, because like I've said in a lot of my videos, when you repeat the same thing twice, you shouldn't say it the same. So at the very beginning of this chorus, I was taken by surprise because it just went in a completely different direction than the original, which was a beautiful surprise. So the pianist really comes in and I believe plays a bit of his right hand using the upper register of the keyboard.
Amen. 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 Take me to church. I will worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife.
That brings this ethereal and very light sounding part of the composition, and it's pretty vulnerable because there's not much going on, unlike in the original where the chorus is pretty heavy. And what this does is it opens the space a lot for the vocalist. This does make the stakes a lot higher in terms of if something does go wrong vocally, it will really be highlighted in this type of a composition. I like what she did, and she took out all of the chest voice that we were hearing a bit earlier in her lower register and just went right into her head voice. I thought starting the chorus like that matched what was going on within the keyboards so beautifully. That was a beautiful compliment to each other. When the chorus comes back the second time, you get a shift. And I think that's important because you're saying the same lines, but she's showing you that she's going to say them quite differently. And in this next line, you hear where the chorus starts, "Take me to church," you immediately get quite a bit more chest voice in comparison to how she started the chorus the first time.
Take me to church, I will worship like a dog at the shrine of your lines. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lines. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life.
Not only that, the chorus the second time builds. And not only do we get more chest, starting off with mixed voice, you hear that develop quite nicely into full-on chest voice, something we didn't hear in the first part of this chorus. And that prepares your ear and your mind to say, wow, she's taking this dynamically in a completely different direction than before. She's choosing to emphasize these same exact words in a much more different way. This is one of the clues that we were talking about before that shows you she's doing something to connect emotionally to the song.
Deathless death, good God, let me give you my life. If I'm a pagan of the good times, my love is the sunlight to keep the God on my side. He demands a sacrifice to drain the whole sea. Get something shiny, something meaty for the main course. There's a fine looking high horse. What you got in the stable? We've got a starving faithful. That looks tasty, that looks plenty. This is hungry work. Take me to church, I'll worship like a god at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church, oh, at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. No masters or kings when the ritual begins. There is no sweeter innocence than our gentle sin. In the madness and the soil of that sad earthly sea, only then am I human, only then am I clean.
Nice.
Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death.
Girl, you better sing, you better play that piano. That was so freaking good. That was really, really good. I didn't even mention before, I love how she varied the amen part. That part is so iconic in the original song. Totally took it and made it her own. And I think that's really powerful. One, considering how significant it is within the song, the word that is on, amen, and how the difference in the notes that she chose to do versus the original, how that showcases how that is personal to her within this moment. Now, I don't know. She can go and sing this another time, and those notes are different the next time. It's reminiscent of church and just improvising on how you feel. I thought that was a nice touch. Also, the final time she sang amen, the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, just completely in her chest voice, giving that good speaking factor to every note, every time she sang amen, just made it such a finalizing moment. Amen! Amen! That is really, really powerful. If you liked all that you saw, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Comment down below what other piece by Post Modern Jukebox I should do a performance analysis on. Lastly, make sure you check out the description box for ways you can keep in touch with me, get access to exclusive perks, and or take an artistic development lesson with me. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!